And here we go.
I just took 3 shots of Pepto-Bismol.
There we go. That's the real drink right there.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we are. And hey, look, everybody, it's Xbox Nation. We are back. And what a time to be alive. What a time to be a gamer, you guys. I am absolutely thrilled to say, man, I am feeling wow. Gray is my picture. I'm gonna have to fix that here eventually. But you know, there is a lot of cool stuff to talk about. As you guys filter in, please hit the like button, share it out. I want to say, go Ravens. To hell with Tom Brady and the Patriots. Paper champions. Couldn't handle it. Lamar Jackson's the real deal. Let's go. Outside of that, you know, I got to introduce the people in the chat, or excuse me, not the chat, because that might take
introduce the chat. Let's see how long that takes.
Well, I see a lot of people in the chat, but they're just like, oh, I see we got Yoshida in the chat. Remember when we used to get like Xbox people in the chat, guys? How fun was that? But yeah, first and foremost, let me introduce Mooch. What's going on? How's it going, Mooch? How you doing?
Buddy, having a great night. Glad Xbox Nation's back. Got a lot to talk about. I actually, you know, something I never usually do, Crap. I went through and looked at all the topics. I think they're great.
Yeah.
And I'm very opinionated on at least 3/4 of them. So it's going to be a great show, buddy.
Absolutely. It's going to be a fun show. I'm very excited by it. We also got Xbot 438. What's going on, Xbot?
Brother, you downgraded me, man. What did I do? What did I do?
Nothing, man. You're all good around these parts, man. But how's it going, man? What's going on?
It's going good, man. But just for that downgrade, I just got to do one thing for you, man. It's just one word, and that is Battletoad.
Nobody wants that, man. Nobody wants that Battletoad stuff, man.
I do. I want
you do.
Yeah.
I think you might be all alone. All alone. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'll play it and I'll stream it all by myself, brother.
Oh,
I don't care.
Okay, man. They say stream like nobody's watching, so I guess we'll have to see how that is. Oh, special thanks to Sully for getting out here and running this OBS stuff for me. I appreciate it. We also got Predator. What's going on, Pred, man? I hear you're tired, man, but you're kicking it with us. What's up, man? How's it going?
Not
yeah,
much,
Pred,
man.
tired.
It's driving me fucking crazy right now. So
Yeah.
I'm good to go, man. I'm ready to rock, and I'm awake.
Good. Yeah, I'll have to mess with this stupid thing later, man. That's like, I didn't even think about it. It happened on Sunday, too, and I just thought it'd fix itself. But, of course, nothing ever fixes itself for me. Warp. So it is what it is. And J-Dubs will be joining us shortly. He's doing something. But we also got back Dirt. Hates Crackdown 3. Diggity. What's going on, man?
What's up, Crap? How you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm doing better, man. I'm doing better. How you doing?
I'm good, man. You know, I'm good, man. You know, I'm happy that you're back, man. You know, so let's just talk about this shit. There's things to talk about. Let's talk about it, man.
There is, man. Look. I am excited to talk about this stuff, and I kind of want to jump into it. Microsoft is teasing Xbox X019 announcements. Man, this show is going to be great. You guys get your hype levels up over the roof, because Microsoft is like, hey, we are going to have a games. It's going to be all out war. We're going to have In Exile Entertainment. Boom. We're going to have Obsidian there. Boom. We're going to have, who the hell is that other people that they have? We're going to have Ninja Theory there. So be on the edge of your seat. Boom. So they're going to have these 3 people there, these 3 studios there, man. I mean, it's time to get excited, right? If they're not going to show anything new, they certainly wouldn't be having those new studios there, right, Mooch?
No,
so we all have the right to get hyped. Let's go.
I don't want to ruin the hype factor here, but I think even hardcore Xbox fans will agree with this, is that there's no way this show's going to reveal anything that's major. I'm not saying they're not going to get a reveal of some sort, but even Phil's tweet, if you looked at it and read it, and I don't have it in front of me, but you could see usually when they're like really amped and when they have like an ace behind their, behind their hand, and they're like, oh, we got a real surprise and treat for the audience. You can see he's like, we've done our 3rd iteration of rehearsal, and we're really excited. And then what he did was he went and he said everything that we've already known. These are the things we've done, and we're excited. And they're also presenting it, Crap, in the form of an inside Xbox. Yeah. And that right there tells me
missed high fives.
Yeah, wait. Off timing jokes, right? Major Nelson stage left. All kinds of things. Yeah.
White gloves.
Isn't the ex-lead of Team Ninja gonna be there? The guy who.
Well, there's a rumor, and I didn't even put that in the topics. Yeah, there's a rumor, dude, that he's coming out of retirement and might have something there. But here's the thing of where I stand on that.
I know multi-plat. I watched your video, brother.
Yeah. There's either three possibilities here. This guy's coming back and he's working for Microsoft because they've expressed interest in doing a Japanese studio before, or he's coming back and maybe Microsoft bought the IP. I don't know. Or the most likely is he has a new studio or whatever, and he's just doing a multi-plat, and they're going to announce it on Xbox stage. Like Phil Spencer, you can just tell he just never has that urgency and doesn't really care about if it's exclusive or not. If they announce it on their stage, he's like, hey, the fans are going to be happy. Everybody's going to be happy. And that basically that kind of ends it. So for me personally, I don't particularly care. He did a couple of good Ninja Gaiden games and I think the DOA games. The first one he did on the original Xbox was really good. And then he did those DOA games with the breast jigglies. Right, the physics or whatever.
Those are all great games.
Oh, of course. I think didn't he do a volleyball game or something too? I might. have that.
DOA Beach Volleyball.
Yeah,
don't
I might have
ask
that.
Why I know the whole title,
dude. Because you got to watch it and then you got to unlock the girls' outfits, dude. It's crazy. it's really good. I don't even think you can get away with streaming that shit anymore.
He hasn't done a game since Devil's Third, and that game bombed. That's what
leads me. That's what leads me to think that he might be working for Xbox. Because would that game get like a 53 Metacritic?
Bro.
He's a remastered Devil's Third.
Yeah, remastered for 4K, Xbox One. Hey, as everybody gets in here, please hit the like button and share it out. We appreciate it. So, I mean, that's how I feel about it. I think if it is something like that we're going to see, probably something that we've either already seen before or maybe it's never the cool thing that you want it to be. And that's a sad state of the fact as an Xbox fan. Like, it's never what you really want it to be. So always think the least positive thing, and that's what and Xbox will never let you down, right? So if you go into it just thinking we're gonna have another lame XO with stupid hosts that don't know what they're doing and a bunch of clowns talking about multi-plats and Game Pass on PC.
There's gonna be clowns?
Well, they are the clowns without the makeup.
They're gonna have clowns?
Yeah,
that's it.
Like Phil Spencer could star in the next Joker movie, right? Everybody thinks I'm funny, and now I guess I don't know. Like to me, he could definitely be the Joker, right? Like he just reminds me of that kind of clown, and I just don't. There's just something about the guy. But I digress. For me, just don't get hyped about it because I know people are dirt. You were getting hyped. You're like, what's this? What's this? Could it be? What could it be?
Yeah,
and I'm like, don't get hyped.
Back down to reality. I see. That's probably bleeding edge. I'm not super hyped. So anything that's a surprise, like Moose said, there's not going to be nothing big. But any small surprise, that's a bonus, I guess. I'm not getting hyped, but
Well,
you sound like you're hyped.
You got to keep things in proper perspective because, I think we talked about this on Crossfire as well. The thing that gets me is, they haven't unveiled the new Xbox yet or anything like that. We're looking at like E3 in 2020 where they're going to show the launch lineup and all that good stuff. That is basically right around the corner when it comes to like game development, hardware releasing. It's right around the corner in the game industry. So that makes me kind of pull back on XO and kind of like lower my expectations. But I will say, hearing that Team Ninja guy, came out of retirement, I forgot his name, Itagi or something like that.
Yeah.
Dude, that excites me because the first two Ninja Gaidens that came out, those were awesome. The third one, I didn't get a chance to play, but a lot of my friends really kind of talk negatively about the third one.
I think he left before that one even was made, though.
Yeah. So the first couple had his had his name on it, and when it comes down to it, if Microsoft does get that IP or they did buy that IP, I think it would be a good addition. It's one of those games that's kind of been in limbo because of one kind of less than stellar game out of 3 in the franchise. The first 2 being really good. And I want another good Ninja Gaiden, man. I do. And
I understand.
If he comes out and says something about that, dude, I will be so hyped for that, man. I will.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand it. Mooch, well, I mean, what do you think about this stuff?
Well, I mean, I want to kind of add and build off of what Xbot was saying, but almost counter it a little bit.
Of course, Mooch.
Xbot, literally, much respect to what you said, because if that's what you're looking forward to, that's great. But a lot of the things we've been talking about so much over the past couple of years is, I wish they bring back Mech Assault. I wish they bring back Ninja Gaiden. I wish they bring back this. I wish they bring back that. I mean, maybe it's because I've been gaming for too long. I don't know if that's the case. That's fine. That's a me problem. I'm willing to live with that. But I like new things, new IP, new ideas, fresh. And that's the thing. And I know we're going to get into it, so I don't want to jump from one subject to the other. But people say to me all the time, Mooch, how is it that you're excited for Death Stranding? I might not like Death Stranding. So shout out to Rock, Rock, you're more negative than you're saying I am. Rock, what I'm trying to say to you is that it's new, it's refreshing. Maybe it's terrible. You know, what do we always do, right? Let's say you're a big-time 7-Up or Sierra Mist fan or whatever soda you like. Mountain Dew, right? Everyone loves Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew came out with that red, what was that? Red Berry Rush? Code Red. That tastes terrible. But everybody was like, oh, I got to try it because now it's red, right? So, I just trying to say, listen, I'm not here to sell you on things like Death Stranding. But when I hear someone that I love dearly, an Xbox 448, very good friend of mine, you know, and he says, I can't wait to play this and this and this. I'm like, listen, Xbox, we've played that and we've been playing these for years. Let's enjoy and see if we get something new. So what I'm saying is when we want Xbox to do something and thrive and show something, show us something new. Ask for things that are new. Yes, you're right. You know, sometimes you got to throw things on the wall and see what sticks. But at the same time, that's what gets me amped and hyped up. So when I hear this, like, I hope we get another Ninja Gaiden. I hope we get another. If anybody says, I hope we get another, stop them right there and be like, I don't want another. Fill in the blank.
Hey, Mooch, I got to say, I am kind of in the same boat with you as that. Like, Ninja Gaiden is a special kind of like example. But like, other than that, I've seen so many people on Twitter, either they're asking for another or they're asking for a reboot to or something like that. And when it comes down to it, games like say Banjo-Kazooie, and I know this isn't gonna like sit well with the Xbox gamers out there, but let's be real here. How good would another Banjo and Kazooie really do right now?
Probably about as good as that. What the hell is that one? That
the ukulele?
Made? Yeah, probably as good as that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I know people love the franchise; they have fond memories of the franchise. When it came down to
the memories, then
the least popular one, which was Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Like, me and my son had a blast playing that game. He would come up, we were making like UFOs. He would come up with crazy like vehicles to use and stuff like that. But that type of game right now doesn't seem to kind of be in the gaming atmosphere.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know what? Oh, I'm sorry.
So that's us living in the past, right? We're like, you know, we already have back and pat. We can play those games, you know, in the state they were in from back then. Like, I don't think the younger gamers growing up now want those type of games.
No, they don't.
And that's stuff that, like, you know, I think one typical just said it. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug, right?
Yeah.
So and that's us wanting those games. When in reality, even though we've asked for those games in the past, we've never gotten those games. We've asked, you know, we put these petitions together. Oh, we want, you know, like I think Mooch said, Mech Assault, we want this. When have we ever gotten an answer or response from those people about those games?
Nothing.
Never. We've never gotten them. So let's stop asking for that shit. How about we ask for better games going forward?
Thank you.
You know, breathtaking games, new experiences.
Pred, you make a great point. You kind of piggyback to what I was saying, and I agree with you. We're asking for better hardware, newer things. Well, let's use this newer hardware. Let's get the full capability out of these boxes, and let's stop asking for games from the past. It doesn't mean that they can't take that and make it today's, you know, use today's technology and make that game great again. But the point of the matter is that it's years now. So that's why I say, and I don't know if you want to parlay it into a crap or not, but that's why when people say, you know, why would you play a game like Death Stranding? Don't get me wrong. Xbox has got some really good one-liners on why not to play it, you know, but to be honest with you, it's different. And after I play it for, well, it looks like at least I have to play it at least 10 hours. After I play the game, right?
Watch it for 10 hours.
Right? After I get done watching it, playing it for about 10 hours, I'm going to give my honest opinion on it, you know? But I'm excited because it's something I haven't done.
Real quick.
I haven't played that.
Can I say this right quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Dirt.
Yeah, no, I agree with Moose. Like actually, all of you guys. The only time going back to old games made sense is like what Moose kind of said. If they do a Resident Evil 2, you know, kind of just redo the whole game and make it modern, you know, in like today's technology. That's the only time it makes sense. But I will say why that makes sense is because you think about a game that came out 20, 25 years ago. There's a whole another set of adults on this planet that wasn't here back then that's here now. So I understand why they would do that, but Banjo-Kazooie, those type of games, no, they need to let those games.
The thing is though, some of those games just don't hold up gameplay wise.
Absolutely, right.
They had to totally redo Resident Evil 2. Like the original tank controls didn't work. This is the problem that I think people are having with even Gears of War nowadays. It's still those damn tank controls. You know, it's like that's like a last gen thing, like an early last gen thing, like 2006. You know, so that's like people are over that. It's the same thing with like Crackdown, okay? Like Crackdown looked prettier or whatever, and people could have had hashtag fun with it, but it didn't bring anything new to the game, and they, you know, from the original one, really. And so people,
what they tried to bring new wasn't exactly what they showed with the online.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, it's easy. Like you can poke fun of it because I do. Because listen, they originally promised, fully destructible, and that sounds cool. What we ended up getting was these little arenas with a time limit. Like you literally didn't have enough time to destroy anything. Right? It was like the time would go up and then the round's over and then there was nothing there. You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody was really going out of their way to destroy anything. It really just kind of sucked. You couldn't play with your friends on the same team. It wasn't really well done. You know, it was one of those things where they promised you all this stuff and then we ended up getting like next to nothing with it. So it really does kind of let me down. Just another one of those things that has happened this generation. I know, like Dirt always poked fun, like, oh man, you're bitter, like an ex-girlfriend or something. Yeah, I mean, listen, you just look at what Phil and company have done. That was another big promise we got. Like, why did that game get the ability to keep going, and Scalebound and Fable and all those games didn't?
Well, you know, that's a good question. That's a good question, Crap.
Yeah.
Well, I would think because when it came to Scalebound, they were giving money to basically a multi-plat publisher. They did a second party deal. So, you know, when it comes down to it, once they gave that money over, that was pretty much it. And they were not keeping up with anything when it came to that game. And they just cut ties with it, man. They're like, that's it. We're done.
Do you know, I'm sorry, Xbox, but do you know why I think they kept with Crackdown 3?
Because of Phil Spencer's game?
Well, yeah, well, maybe, but I believe the campaign was done. I believe the campaign was done maybe a year or so ago before the game came out. If you think about it, they were trying to fix that multiplayer for, you know, like some things that we read, some things that you heard some guys in the know said. That campaign was done. And they couldn't cancel that multiplayer. That would have been worse than what the game was. Like if they would have, well, maybe it wouldn't have been.
Threw it out there to die.
Yeah, but I think that campaign was done, man. Like way before the game came out.
Well, there were rumors. Like I had heard like Tim Dog at the time we were doing BGST and stuff, and he was like, "Yeah," he goes, "I really think they're going to release the campaign with the X." Right. And then they're going to release the multiplayer later on. What's up, J-Dub? Thank you for joining us. He just joined us a little bit late. But yeah, like again, but Crackdown 3 sucked dirt. So we got to always put that in there. Make sure that that's known.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. You know, it's just one of those things that I feel like I got to get out there and tell people just so that they can avoid. It's hard to believe that game actually came out this year still when it's like, you know,
like February or February.
Man. Yeah,
your nominee
the
right
campaign
there.
wasn't bad though.
Yeah, I mean, like it lacked more. If it had more Terry Crews and a little something different, I don't know. There was it just seemed so repetitive. You know,
hold on, they had Terry. Hold on, in the campaign, they had Terry Crews over a loudspeaker yelling at the citizens in the city. Like once you took over,
I like the opening cinematic and stuff. I like. Here's the thing: I don't think it was terrible. I think I gave more of that. Right. Yeah, I gave it a 6.5 or a 7 or something. It was okay, but like after 5 years, you got to really just like, I don't know, like expect more or whatever. It's like
I agree, Crap.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like as far as I'm concerned, are you there, J-Dub?
I'm here, man. Can you
all
guys hear
right.
me?
Yeah, we hear you, man.
Cool.
Let's talk a little bit about Death Stranding as well. The review scores are coming in. It's so divisive because a lot of Xbox fans, not you, Xbox, but a lot of them are bringing up the Metacritic scores and stuff like that. Oh, the Metacritic, blah blah blah. You know, it's 84.
Meta who?
Well, basically, you know, they got the same Metacritic score as Gears 5 and Gears 4 and Halo 5. So, you know, it's like one of those things. I was posting fun. I didn't realize how serious a lot of people took this until it went up to 85. And I was like, yeah, no more of those trashy 84 rated games. And everybody's like, and then when it dropped back down, they're like trying to rake me over the coals, right? They're like, look at this fanboy. What do you got to say now, crap? And I'm like, dude, it was an obvious joke. I was completely joking. Like, what's 1 point difference? I was like, it's not a big deal, honestly. You know, and then everybody's like, oh, you know,
all you guys that hype up, and I'm not saying you crap, but all you guys that hype up the Metacritic scores and stuff like that, guys, you set the bath temperature of the water. Now you just got to sit in it, man. You just got to sit in it and take what everybody's throwing out there. You guys set that temperature.
Hey, can I say something? Because I'm glad I'm glad J-Dub is here now. But honestly, my honest to God truth, man, I don't care that Death Stranding got an 84, right? My personal issue is some of the reviews bashing the game but still giving it 100 scores. Like, I mean, that just doesn't make sense to me. I understand, you know, it's Kojima and he's a legend, but the game is boring, the game is dull, the game is repetitive 10.
Kurt, you said Kojima's a legend? What happened with Metal Gear? Like the last Metal Gear that came out.
Well, the first few Metal Gears blew me away, to be honest.
Yeah, those were awesome. Anyway, what the hell happened?
Hey, I don't know, man. but I mean, but like Death Stranding, I'm going to get it. I'm going to try my best to finish it because I do want to play every big game. That's how I am. So, you know, I just have a problem with some of the reviews. Like, somebody made a great point. Have you ever seen all of the reviews say the same thing? Like the bad reviews and the good reviews saying the same exact thing. Like the game is boring, but it's a 3.
But it's important.
The game is boring, but this is a 10. That just doesn't make sense.
It's boring, but it's important. Their whole thing is in today's society, because the Death Stranding is almost an extinction level event. They call it the Death Stranding, right? And they're saying it's important. And they're saying it's important because what happened is in Kojima's world, he has something that is the equivalent of the internet and social media. And people just started going there and consuming that. And what Kojima's trying to put out there is the more that you're on the internet and you're on social media, the less you have an actual tie to the world of the living. All right. So that's why they say it's important, because there's so many people who do nothing but stick their nose in their phones. They're constantly on Twitter. They're constantly on the internet. They don't even know the next person, like the person standing next to them. They don't know how to interact with people. So that's why they're saying that the game is important. And I get that. But this is a game. Okay. So there has to be something there in a gameplay scenario that will keep the gamer playing the game. And we've already seen
the irony of this. You say that, but then they're watching a video game and not playing it with their noses peeled to a TV screen and not actually interacting with the game.
Exactly. I'm sorry about that, guys.
So, like, yeah, I mean, I'm with you, man. It's like, you know, you can't write negative. Like, I write like reports and I write like, you know, like annual, like, you know, feedback sessions and stuff like that for my employees and stuff like that all the time. If I say something negative, that means it's a negative score for them for the year. And if I say something all positive about what they've done for the year, it's a positive score. You can't say you suck. Here's 100.
Yeah.
If you suck, you're not getting 100. You're getting marked down for certain things. And so,
right.
for just looking at the reviews right now, like just the reviews themselves alone, reading them, if they're saying that and they're giving 100, this game isn't even an 84, 85. It's probably like about a 79, like maybe an 80. But because they're giving it extra, you know, an extra boost because it's important and it's Kojima, you know, they're giving it 84s, 85s, 100s. You know, like this game, it shouldn't even be considered game of the year just based off of what I've read so far. And I haven't even played the game.
Well, that's the good thing about it, right? Most people already have their minds made up based on other people's reviews and stuff like that. I remember when wait, let me finish.
He's right.
I remember when Gears 5 dropped, right? Everyone just gonna be the game of the year. This is great, and then
not everyone, bro.
We had what is it? The user it was a reviewer. They were always giving Sony and Microsoft games.
Was it like US Gamer? Or
US
whatever?
Gamer, yeah, that's what I meant. They're always giving it very low reviews, right? Very low. The only thing that they give really high marks is Nintendo game. So there was some kind of outrage over that. And I'm like this, look, have we gotten to the point now, right, where a game gets an 85, 84 Metacritic, and the naysayers, the people who wanted to fail, the people who obviously they don't like Kojima or they don't like PlayStation or something, they are going and they're trying to discredit all of the positive reviews.
Are you talking to
yourself? That sounds familiar.
Let me finish.
Are you talking to yourself about it? You did the same
familiar, brother.
I'm just saying, let me finish, right?
Sounds familiar.
They did not go down to the 35s and the 30s that the people had wrote about it, just saying, it's trash, it's this, is that. Here's the thing about it, right? Kojima, for over 30 years, have cranked out nothing but 90 plus rated games. This game,
and this one before Death Stranding was crap.
85, right? This game get an 84, 85, and people are losing their shit. Listen, Metal Gear Solid 2 went down in the world record as having the longest cutscene.
I said that.
Listen, and so, but that game got like a 94, 95 Metacritic rating, and you guys can look it up.
It was a good game, Jay.
I know. I'm just saying. Listen, all of Kojima's games have. So I'm just saying all the stuff that people are ragging about, right? Kojima said this is a different game. This is not your. Even all the reviewers are saying this is not your typical game.
Why are you capping for this game so hard?
I'm not. Listen, because I'm interested in it.
I'm interested in it too, bro.
I have the collector's edition. I have the theme console. I am truly interested in this.
That's
game.
a nice looking console.
Hey, can I say something though? Okay, Jay, listen. Everything you said is absolutely 100% true. The only thing is you do the same exact thing. That's the problem you have with you did it with Gears.
I won't deny it. I won't deny it.
Okay, then.
All.
So
listen, I won't deny it at all, right? Yes, I tease you and Xbot and everyone else, but that's what I do.
Who are you?
Okay, that's what Tim Dog does. Then Tim Dog do the same thing,
and I don't mind it, right? I don't mind that. At the end of the day, no matter what you say, no matter how many 100s or 95s or 85s reviews that you guys try to take away and discredit, it's still sitting neck and neck with Gears, and that says something,
bro.
right?
Listen, I don't have a problem
that
with the
says
game.
something. No matter how much you try to discredit, here's the thing about it: is it the type of action that you want? No, it probably not, because it's not a pew pew shooter, right? It's not your typical pew shooter. And when you think about it, we're stuck in gaming. All of us are gamers. We're stuck with about 4 different types of game. That's a shooter, a racer, a sports game, or a small indie type game.
Or RPG.
RPG. Okay, we can throw that in there, right? There's only a handful of different things that we can have, and we get the repeat of that. Right now, we have a great game called The Outer Worlds, right? It's a mixture of everything that we've had before. It's a mixture of Mass Effect, Fallout. It's the same exact thing. Right. So when one person try to create a game that's totally different, something out of the norm, gamers crap on it. They scream and cry. So I think that sends a message saying, don't give us anything different. Just give us the same old, same old. This is why EA cranks out the same games over and over.
Check this out, Jay.
Hold
on, check this out. Check this out, Jay. Like,
there will never be another Stranding.
I hear you on this, man. I hear you on this. As a fan of Viva Pinata last generation, which was something totally different, and not a lot of people kind of like absorbed it, adopted it, played it.
I love it. Yeah,
I like that game. I got the collector's edition too.
Yeah, but so I hear what you're saying about trying something new. Here's the deal with this whole thing, though. For anybody who is on the fence about this game, dude, they have released over 3 hours of gameplay.
Yes.
All right. Within all that gameplay, you know exactly what this game is, at least gameplay wise. You know the gameplay loop. You know what you have to do. You know the core mechanics. You know what you're doing with this character. You know, I say take Metacritic and all those reviews, throw them straight out the window. check out the gameplay. And if while you're checking out the gameplay, you feel like, you know what, damn, I wish I had the controller in my hands. I would have went left instead of right. I would have went over there instead of over here. I want to control this character. Then guess what? The game's for you. All right. Me personally, hearing certain things within that game, hearing like the balancing of the packages and setting up how you are going out on your trip in this mostly like kind of like barren world and stuff like that. To me, the game's not for me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not afraid to say that.
The thing about it is I was preaching this all week and Jay just kind of reinforced it. This is the thing. And it's not a sales pitch. You have to understand that this is not a sales pitch. But when I reached out to people when Outer Worlds first came out, not Outer Worlds today, because we all kind of know, we've all seen a lot of footage as well. But I said, what's it like? And they're like, well, Mooch, you won't believe it. Sit down. I'm like, what?
Hold on to your hat, Mooch.
Pour yourself a drink. This is going to be a wild.
Pour yourself a drink. There's a cutscene.
Right? Exactly.
Let's go.
You know? And they're like, it's Fallout. I'm like, okay. It's Mass Effect. Okay. It's got art style like Borderlands. I'm like, okay. Oh. And I'm like, I to be honest with you, I'm not necessarily into doing all of that again. And not to mention, I mean, Kojima has 2-hour cutscenes, right? That's where you put your controller down and you watch a good movie with a lot of actors, right?
Exactly.
Well, Outer Worlds has 2 hours of dialogue.
Yeah.
Okay, where there's bad acting, bad animation, and terrible discussion points. Like,
it's the audiobook, man.
Exactly.
It's an audiobook.
Why is it you want to take our electric away? Because if we take it away, Reed in the other town over there will use your power, and then he will welcome you back into our camp. What camp? The camp you ran away from 6 weeks, months, years ago. Yeah. Oh, like, come on. So which one? I would actually rather watch 2 hours of Norman Reedus, okay, and his star-studded cast than that for me personally. I just feel like, and the other thing is this, okay? You guys know this as well as I know, right? You ever go get a car and they're like, hey, you guys want tinted windows? And you're like, nah, I'll get the aftermarket. I've done this, right? I did this when I was younger. Nah, I'll get the aftermarket. I'm not going to get the factory tint one. Okay, great. So what happens? You go get the aftermarket one. After a year or two later, it starts peeling and bubbling, this and that. You know what? Never did I do that again in my life. I always get the factory, pay and get. So when people are like, it's like Fallout, stop right there. If it's like Fallout, I'll play Fallout. Like, that's the original. That's the way it was. And these guys made the original, right? Yeah, so if they did and they stuck with it, that's my whole thing. So it's not if you didn't like Outer Worlds. For me personally, the reason I'm intrigued, not falling head over heels with, but I'm intrigued with Death Stranding is it's something new. It's something different. But here's the thing, and this is what I said on Crossfire last week, and shout out to Sully who helped me out with it. Great thumbnail put together there. Actually, I did that one last week. And I did the 84 and 86 on both ends of it. People are sitting there ranting and raving about new IP in Outer Worlds, 86. And then they're like, this is trash. You're not going to like it. It's garbage. Death Stranding, a new IP, 84. Right? Both new IPs, 86, 84. Like I said, if your kid comes home from school and one has got an 86 and one's got an 84, is the kid with the 84 grounded? No! It's basically the same score. Exactly. So we got everybody for 2 weeks ranting and raving how 86 is fantastic, and now we're crapping all over 84. This is what I'm guys.
It just shows you how silly that it really
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah,
like, in 2019,
Spider-Man was only 87,
right?
Exactly.
In 2019, 80s are bad.
Which is
70s
ridiculous.
Are no buy. It's crazy, and I get because it's the console war where our games score higher than yours. I get that, man. But let's face it, the console war has been over since 2013.
Of course,
if it's 2019, the next generation is coming next October, November. If you are trying to come back, right? After all of these years of no MPD wins, no Game of the Year winners, no nothing. And you're
not even any nominees.
You're trying to use 1 to 2 points for Metacritic as a win. That says, I mean, that's almost a disgrace.
Jay, we're not. Come on, bro. You know,
come on, Dirt.
We're not acting like it's a win.
You know, it's a lot of
most people go after. Listen, you specifically, because you are like the leader of all this shit talking. But all of this shit is mostly because of you.
Nobody pay me any attention.
Yeah, right. I told you, Jay, you are
not IGN anymore, right?
Exactly. Hey, Jay, I told you, bro. Like you are the Mewtwo of the PlayStation community, bro. That's what you are.
I am a Google Stadia guy. I don't know what you're
oh shit.
Oh shit! Man, we have breaking news, guys.
Stadia bias.
We have breaking news.
83 Metacritic.
It's an 83.
83. Damn, man. Now nobody can play it. Listen. The funny thing is,
I platinumed and loved Days Gone, and I think it's a 71.
I love Days Gone. I didn't platinum it, but I loved it.
Days Gone was really good. But here's the funny part. I was going somewhere with this, and now hold on. Let me keep rambling until I can actually remember what I was going to say. Listen. I wasn't going to buy Death Stranding myself, right? Like I want it from game trailers because that clown said that Gears 5 was going to be a 95 Metacritic. Yeah. I mean, damn, 95. Yeah. 95. He said 95 and was going to win game of the year. Lock it in. And I was like, I'll take that bet. And then if I'm right, then you got to give me Death Stranding. He was way off. He goes, his reasoning was this. Oh, the coalition had more time. They have full support of Microsoft and they're taking risks and blah, blah, blah. And then it ended up getting the same exact score as the last one, right? Yeah. Goes to show you that probably the last one didn't deserve the score it got. Yeah. So people want to talk about media bias, but anyway, I probably wouldn't have got it. It's interesting, but games are expensive, so I probably wouldn't have. But I want it. I'm going to play it, even if I only play it for 20 minutes. I'm going to give my impressions on it or whatever. Yeah. I'm interested to see what all the hubbub's about. That's for sure. I want to see what it's all about. If it sucks, I'll say it sucks. But I'm willing to give it a chance. And I think that's something that a lot of people seem to be. Like, oh my gosh, it's so Nintendo or it's Sony versus Microsoft all the damn time. And it's like, oh my gosh. It was like this game got announced for PC. We knew about it before it even had a name that it was going to come to PC, right? Mm. And now all of a sudden the Xbox fanboys of all people, where every game goes to PC and some don't even come to console.
Hey, crap, right? Man, we don't have much ammo, so any little piece of ammo, Xbox
I get it, but it was so ridiculous. Hey, everybody, hit that like button, share it out. I'd appreciate it. Like it. Let's get up over 100 there. That'll be awesome. Well, crap. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me say this, right? And I think I can kind of sum this whole situation up. It just really seems like, and I'm not saying all, but a lot of people in the Xbox community hold Sony's games, right? Hold Sony and its games to a much higher standard.
Yeah.
Whereas 84, 85, 83 Metacritic is just dirt low. But when we know we have these upcoming games like Bleeding Edge and Battletoads, and these games will be defended to the end of the world. We've seen it before with Crackdown. Remember, hundreds of hours. It's going to be great. Destruction, cloud power. We've seen this over and over. State of Decay 2. Blair Witch over and over defending as long as Metacritic doesn't matter, as long as I'm enjoying the game. I enjoyed it. I know it was 59 Metacritic, but I enjoy it. Like, why can't we keep that same energy now with the competitors game that's an 83 or 84 or whatever it ends up being?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I thought it was weird the whole time, like Xbox fans of all people who have had the games we've had shoveled our way, the Recores, the Scream Rides, the State of Decay, the State of Decay 2s, the Wasteland, the Wasteland,
Wasteland looks good.
You never played it, Jared.
I didn't like nobody plays that game. It's like fucking Wasteland. Bardtail. Woo! Listen. Disney Adventures, Connect Disney Rush. These were the games we were getting. Like, honestly, those are for years. Like a remaster of State of Decay 1. Like, how much State of Decay do we need, man? And Sea of Thieves, which I thought was fun, but it was such it had such little content. I guess if you were playing with your friends, it was good to kind of just have a couple of drinks and goof around, but it certainly wasn't a game. Like a real game, you know what I mean? And props to them, they've actually fixed it up or whatever, but the lack of being able to turn off the crossplay kind of ruined that. And then, of course, Gears 5, guys, Gears 5, I'm finally starting to see, who was that crispy guy, defends Gears 5 nonstop. He finally goes, oh, I hope you guys talk about that BS microtransactions where you got to pay for the curb stomp that was part of the game in Gears 3. Like, they're treating their games, their premium games, like freemium, like phone games, right? Like pay $1, but then you got to buy a curb stomp for $5 and an outfit for $10, and you know what I mean? Like, they got to decide what they actually want to do, right? Are they selling us games? If they are, then sell us games. Are they renting us games through services only? Then do that. But it's like, in my opinion, you can't be like nickel and diming everybody with your premium games, because if you look at the competition, they're not doing that. I've never seen anything like it before in my life. Like you can earn the money, right? But I now understand how it works. It's like things cost a certain amount or whatever, but it takes like 10 matches to get 3 things, like 3 pieces. And then, so you basically, they're forcing you to play the game and grind and grind and grind.
That's forced.
That's freemium. That's freemium stuff right there. I do not understand it. And they wonder why this game, Gears 5, which only launched 6 weeks ago or whatever it was, is already out of the top 30. Madden 18 is ahead of it. How many people are playing Madden 18? Probably not a lot, but more people are playing that than Gears 5. So that should tell you everything you need to know about what they're doing and how people are responding to this stuff. Microsoft is probably like, what the hell do we do? I wouldn't be surprised if the reactions to this is why some of the people are leaving Halo Infinite, because I have a feeling that Halo Infinite was built to be around sort of like Destiny, with that like freemium type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, buy this, buy that, expansion, microtransactions. Like, I got a feeling that they really were going to try to take it the Destiny route. And now they're probably like, oh shit, people don't want to do that. So I'm genuinely worried to see what they do with that, because I would hate to see Halo go out that same way. Gears used to be my favorite franchise, and now I can't even. And I'm not the only one. Mooch, you didn't finish the campaign either. No, like my brother didn't. I've literally played through every campaign with my brother. We didn't even touch this one together. Nothing. My buddy Gray.
But you can't complain, crap, because it only costs you $1.
Yeah, see, that's that. Like, that's the thing.
It's funny. It's a
part of the topics.
What's that? I think I did have Gears in the topics. Yeah. So
no, you ain't Gears.
Okay, I come back. I come back from getting the kids off video games, and we're talking about Gears right now.
Hey, man,
you shit those all the time.
Yeah, you'll be back about Halo in the last 30 minutes.
Let's talk Destiny. How about that?
No. We don't want to talk. We don't want to talk Destiny.
I'm punch myself in the dick and talk about.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's like the way that they act is like that their games are freemium or whatever, and I don't like that at all. I think that there's a much better way to go about that. You know what I mean? Like, this is your second biggest franchise, and you guys are charging $5 for a curb stomp animation. Like, at some point, did somebody not go, hey, this is a stupid idea to do this? Like, maybe we shouldn't do this. Like, Mooch, what do you think about that?
Crap, it comes down to what we were talking about, and you mentioned it before.
Maybe they hired people from Epic.
It's a situation. No, it's a situation where it's like a free to play game, right? I mean, we all got a majority of people. You even saw Phil tweet about it when he said, "Hey, high what is it there? User base in Game Pass. Our Game Pass numbers are up." Well, yeah, it was 99 cents for a long time. Then it went to $1.99. Then that sale went away, and then a few weeks later, they brought the $1.99 sale back again.
Yeah.
So
or a box of Pop-Tarts or a cookie box. So, yeah.
Right. I mean, literally, you buy a controller, Game Pass. You buy a console, Game Pass. You buy a Pop-Tart, Game Pass. 99 cents, Game Pass. So yeah, everybody's got. That's the idea here. It's that business model. That's fine. But crap, that's the thing. I'm actually going to sit here and say I'm not surprised and I'm not upset that they're charging $5 for the curb stop. And the reason I say that is, you got the game basically for free.
Yeah, so, some people did, but what about, I mean, like, some people still want to own it. So if you paid $60 for it, don't you have the right to be upset that something like an animation they're charging you for that?
Yes,
so got Game Pass.
But that's
not everybody wants to use, like, here's that means that, like, that could be the first, like, negative thing, right, for Game Pass. Like, everybody's like, it's such a value, but it's like, but they're changing they're having to cater their games now specifically for this.
Yeah.
And they're making it more like freemium or free to play wise, right? Like that's a negative in my eyes. Like, I don't want to deal with that crap. It ruined the game. Look, they ruined Gears 5. Nobody's playing it. So clearly there's a negative effect. When was the last time a Gears game launched? We got numbers for players, quote unquote, a week after, and then haven't heard a peep since then.
All right, crap. See, I feel like sometimes, especially out on social media, I feel like I am the only gamer with a memory. Let's be real here. The Coalition with Gears 4 did a horrible job with loot boxes as well. Like everybody thought when Gears 4, was coming out that, they're just going to do like a rec pack system like, 343 did. Like, why would they break up that kind of formula? Their first party, they're going to do the same thing. And they didn't do that. So when it comes down to it, I think this is more a Coalition issue in terms of what they want to do for microtransactions than anything Xbox or Microsoft.
Hold on, I'll answer. I'll reboot that in a second. Gaming for Days says, been a while since I've been in the super chat. Topic submission. What's the name of the next Xbox? Have a good show, my dude. I don't know. They're gonna do something stupid to where it spells out like Xbox sucks or some shit. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna be something like you would have never thought after the Xbone stuff that they would do that again, but here they are with the sad edition. You know what I mean?
I got it, dude. They're gonna call it the 448. There you go.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. But let me say this: that one of the things that soured me a little bit on what Rod Ferguson does is before Gears 5 came out, he did an interview and he said, the great thing about working for Microsoft now, they fully back us and we don't have to do anything special for Game Pass, blah, blah, blah. We can just make a great game and then they'll worry about it later. And then after the game came out, he did a Polygon interview and he's like, we built this specifically for Game Pass. We wanted to bring in as many people as we could. Basically not so many words. He's like, we casualized it. We did a boot camp, a recap of the story so far, all this kind of stuff. And it's just like, he's like, but the hardcore don't even care that there's noobs in it, which is BS because the hardcore doesn't like to be bothered with noobs, to be honest with you. And not only that, but then they did a lot of changes with the mechanics and stuff. Like they took out the curb stomps and, to me, they just changed it so much to really make it a casual experience. And here's the thing about casuals. Casuals play a couple games a year, like a Madden or Call of Duty or FIFA, and they stick to those games. They might try Gears 5 for $1, but they're not sticking around long term. That's what your hardcore does, right? So you piss off your hardcore, and then who do you got left when they leave? You got nobody left, and that game's out of the top 30. So that's a really big problem. Now, I'm not saying that it's Microsoft is the only ones doing microtransactions in full price games. I'm just saying is like it's kind of ridiculous, in my opinion, that they're charging for animations. To the best of my knowledge, Call of Duty and all aren't charging you for an animation.
I remember Last of Us did that. Remember that?
They did last gen. Yeah. Sony also did online passes, right? And then conveniently stopped doing that after the Xbox E3 reveal that year, the Xbox One E3 reveal, right? Where they were like always online and all this kind of stuff. And they're like, trade your games, blah, blah, blah. They conveniently did because The Last of Us Part 1 on PS3 came with an online pass. If you guys remember. So, because I have my copy still. So, yeah, it came with an online pass. So, yeah, conveniently they did it. I'm just saying, I understand that microtransactions are a thing, but Microsoft is $1 trillion company, and you don't see Sony or Nintendo doing that with their big games anymore, or very rarely, or definitely not to that degree.
You definitely see third-party multi-platform.
They don't do multiplayer games, crap. Neither Nintendo or Sony.
Well, clearly something's up with Microsoft, though. They obviously have lost the foothold on how to do a good multiplayer game, right? And
here's the thing, though. Phil came out and he said that single-player games just don't cut it like they used to, right?
Yeah.
And he used Horizon Zero Dawn and Zelda as the examples. But recently, I believe he's changed his mind because he's seen how those games are actually dominating, and they aren't necessarily just one and done.
Well, they're not dominating in like active users or anything like that. Then,
well, good thing Microsoft doesn't count active users anymore.
There's more people playing The Last of Us right now. Part
percentages
than playing Gears, and Gears have like 200 different multiplayer modes. So clearly, not everybody is a multiplayer only gamer, or clearly people are just not interested in those particular type of games at the moment. They're being gobbled up by Fortnite, Call of Duty, and other games that are more interesting. Why? I don't know, but you have to. You know why?
Fortnite has done something that I think Xbox is definitely taking a look at when it comes to Fortnite, and this is something that goes back to when Crap was talking about casuals, and he's talking about, they play the Madden or the NBA 2K. And I feel like, when it comes down to it, when you say the word casual, when it comes to gamers, I think there's quite a few different little subgroups in there. You do have like the Madden and the NBA 2K guys, but then let's be honest here, because my wife, she is proud to claim she's a casual. And you know what game she has been playing over and over and over again lately? Fortnite. Yeah. All right. That is a casual gamer as well. And if you see people going in, that's a battle royale, yes, but it is a third person shooter, and it's grabbing the casual market. They have microtransactions for skins. They have it for emotes. They have it
free
for
to play.
All sorts of stuff. Yeah. Well, guess what? You guys keep touting that whole $1. That's only $1. Hold on. That's only $1 away from being free to play.
Then just make it free to play. Then just make it free to play for everybody.
Well, the thing is, you guys tout the promotion and what you found in that promotion in terms of kind of like a loophole that if you stock up on your Xbox Live Gold, which
not really a loophole, by the way. I mean, they tried to play it off like that, but they knew Gears would be its last game before the next gen.
Not everybody, not that I don't think that casual market knew that though either. You know what I'm saying? Like not a lot of people, like when it comes down to it, especially in the casual pool, are as astute as like you and Mooch are to be like, you know what? They're rolling this over to my entire subscription. Like I'm going to stock up as much as I can and only pay $1 to upgrade it.
Well, they advertised it though. You know what I mean? They're like a quality of life thing or whatever. You know what I mean? It was like they had to do that because if you look at it, there's nothing for a reason, right? Microsoft, they have Gears 5. That's their last AAA until Halo Infinite. So, 12, 13 months from now, then all of a sudden they had this big investors meeting coming up. You can't have, and they refuse to talk Game Pass number. Like they refuse to talk about it, just straight up refuse to. Yeah. Right. And they also changed the way that they deliver their metrics. 2 years ago, Phil Spencer said the best way to judge the health of a console and their ecosystem is monthly active users. And now they've gone back on. They've changed 3 different times in the generation and refused to talk about any numbers. Sure, he says, if you want to damage control it, yeah, our numbers are great. Okay. What would you expect him to say? They're trash?
Yeah. Like he wouldn't bring it up. He wouldn't bring it up at all.
Somebody brought it up to him on Twitter.
Okay. How many times has he ignored people on Twitter?
I don't know. But
that would have just been one that.
But he didn't mention any kind of growth or any kind of thing like that. He's just like, "Yep, the engagement's great. We're happy." Blah blah blah. And he said that about Gears 4, but we all heard how unhappy internally they were with the sales of Gears 4.
So Crap. Is it possible that the games did do okay? I mean, is it possible? You think Phil's lying?
I think Phil's. J-Dubs, Phil lied.
Yeah,
Phil Spencer lied. Hold on, let me go back in the books here.
I will make up.
I will make up Street Fighter 5 exclusivity for everybody.
Yep.
Gamers, I want gamers on Xbox to feel like first class citizens. That's why we do the parity clause.
Yep.
It's going to be the biggest and best lineup ever. Biggest and best lineup ever. Biggest and best lineup ever.
Yep.
Biggest and best lineup ever. I held back exclusives. I'm more excited for what I didn't show. We just signed exclusive deals, but we're not going to show them for a couple years.
His words, guys. His words.
Anything else?
These are anything else?
Words.
Oh, there's a ton. Oh, hold on. We canceled Scalebound because it's good for gamers.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Anything else like you want to bring up on the past?
Why would you dismiss all of this?
Because though we're doing another podcast with Crapgamer was a list full of topics, but yet still for the last hour he's bashing Xbox.
Hey, Crackdown 3
I'm
sucks.
sorry, the last 30 minutes. Come on, bro.
Crackdown 3 sucks. Come on. I'd let you know. No, listen. I'm just telling you. I was giving you examples as to why I wouldn't believe Phil Spencer, and that's perfectly good evidence that I've just alluded to, right? Perfectly good evidence. Phil Spencer has lied. So I'm saying he hasn't earned that like grain of salt or that like when people go, Sony started off slow this generation, and I'm like, well, but they kill it every generation. They always do great by the time it's over anyway. So they've earned that trust with their consumers. This generation, Phil hasn't listened to anybody. Like Maximilian, this guy's the biggest fight YouTuber or whatever, started this movement, had Killer Instinct trending, couldn't even get a "I see you" or a "this is awesome" from Phil, right? He's too busy for that shit, but he can talk about
what if they're actually doing it though? But what if they're actually doing it? Maybe he wanted to be a surprise. I mean, I'm saying
Phil
7 years dirt, 7 years working on a surprise.
Maybe they're doing Killer Instinct too. I mean, you don't know.
Dirt.
So you're saying, so hold on, wait. You're saying they're not doing it, right? Are you guys sure they're not doing Killer Instinct too?
Listen,
here's the issue. Like we're tired of the maybes, right? We need to see a game. We can sit there and second guess this shit all the time, but until we see something from Phil's mouth or from Microsoft or someone fucking official,
like a trailer or something like that, man. Actual
and I think that's what the problem is. Like we're not seeing anything.
I agree with that, bro. But that's the shit we say every podcast. Yes,
and until it happens, we're gonna keep saying it.
Say the shit every podcast, man. Okay, they don't show shit. Okay, I think they should.
All podcasts should start and end with that.
Yeah,
Phil, get off your ass, announce some games, being an asshole. You know what I mean? Give Xbox fans a little bit of help and a little bit of hype for the first time in the entire generation. Like that's how it should start and stop. Yeah. Like, yeah, we can talk about some of the positive stuff. Like good. He says Outer Worlds is doing good. I'm happy for him. It's sold incredibly well on PlayStation. I know that.
Game Pass is a great positive, man. Like for the gamer, like everybody turns into like armchair stockholders and stuff like that, especially this generation. But when it comes down to it, as a gamer, paying this subscription service and getting all these games to be able to be played or whatnot, whether you like them or not, that is a good freaking deal for me. All right. Like that subscription service and all the games that are in there are freaking awesome. And I'm actually glad that Sony stepped up and cut the price of their PlayStation Now. Because at the end of the day, and this is one of the things that really pisses me off. Like, first off, people are saying Death Stranding, game of the year, automatically already, haven't even played the game.
It's still good.
All right. Well, yeah, it could. All right. But haven't even played the game. There's people constantly always on the left side bashing the right side, or always on the right side bashing the left side, where I am over here living in middle ground. Yes, I have criticisms all the way around. All right. I criticize the Elite controller. I criticize the Xbox controllers, the newer ones, in videos on my channel, stuff like that. It's the same way I criticize the DualShock 4 on the PS4. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody is sitting in the middle ground anymore. Everybody is on one side and rooting for the death of the other.
I'm
and that's
not.
Absolutely.
I think we all need to have that conversation.
But that's stupid. That's absolutely stupid.
I agree with you, but this is the reality, right? The reality is, ever since Sega versus Nintendo versus PlayStation,
dude, but we grew up.
Always been like that, right? And then people will forever, right? People will forever.
Jay, we were that generation of kids, and I thought when we grow up, we get more mature.
But we didn't listen. We didn't. Where was that? Where was that energy last generation when Xbox 360?
Dude, I wasn't even on YouTube. I didn't pay attention to any news. I didn't pay attention to any of that.
Social media wasn't as big as it is now.
Hold on. You asked me a question. And here's the answer without you cutting me off and then trying to prove your point. All right. Here's the answer. Last generation. First off, I didn't have a system that let me make YouTube videos. All right. That was this generation. And that's where I got into YouTube. I got into gaming news, stuff like that. But even still, the previous generation, whenever I went into a GameStop and I went over to the 360 wall, 9 times out of 10, I had a PlayStation guy come over to me and was like, yo, why are you playing that garbage? Like, seriously. So, like, I just wasn't a part of that lifestyle, because at the end of the day, the main reason why I didn't get a PS3 as well last gen was because it was too expensive. And then by the time that they dropped the price and everything like that, I was wholeheartedly invested in my 360. You know, I was like, you know what? I don't need to spend a couple of $100 now for another system. I'm good where I am. You know, I at those points in time, you know, you think about.
Well, you're okay with a certain amount of. You're okay with certain type of games, though, Xbot. I mean, not everybody.
I'm okay with a wide range of games.
Yeah,
you know why?
I get that.
I play them all.
I get that, but it's like at certain points, man, like people, if you got to feed me some AAAs that are new.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I saw somebody on Twitter today. He was like, and this dude argues with me. I got nothing against him, but he's like, yeah, they just dropped Gears, rekindled everybody's love of Xbox again. And I'm like, really? Like some of these people are kind of deluded, right? And he's like, wait till the next Halo and then Ori 2 drops. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, you realize that we had Halo, Gears, and Ori earlier in this generation, and it helped zero. It didn't do anything.
Helped what? Helped what? What
didn't help. It didn't help the console. It didn't help people get on board with Xbox. Those games took a step back.
But you're going back to armchair stockholder and
stuff like that.
Xbox, all right? At some point, right, the reality has to set in that how many consoles you sell is your install base, and you have to have that.
But dude, they are with them having over 40 million, with them having over 40 million right now. Yeah, of course, it's not Sony's numbers. Oh my goodness! But guess what? It's still been a successful generation. They're coming out with another piece of hardware as well.
It's less than half of what they had last generation, and next generation is going to be less than half of it.
You don't know that, man. You are not a fortune teller.
Psychic,
you do not have a crystal ball. Okay. You do not read tarot.
Tell me one reason it's going to increase. You tell me the reason. Is it Game Pass?
You know what I'm saying? As long as the platform is successful, and as long as they have money coming in to make more games, I'm cool with that.
It's the work.
I'm not over here. Hold on.
Has never been money, brother.
Here. Dude, I am not over here championing for Xbox to wear the crown of number one in sales, or for Sony to champion the crown to be number one in sales. Dude, you do it all the time on Twitter. All the time,
I've bought more Xboxes.
So what?
I'm so glad. I'm so glad, dude. You know what's funny? You are so busy always fueling console war and showing rivalries instead of sharing any kind of gaming experience or what you're having fun with. That's
not true. That's not true. I see him post
because you don't follow me. You don't follow me. You don't watch my videos, and I get it, right? I get it. It doesn't matter. I'm not. I do what I do, and I'm not going to change that for anybody, right? I do what I do, and I'm not going to change that for anybody. At the end of the day, right? Some people are going to have to accept the fact that hardware matters, sales matters, mind share matters, and all the things that you say you don't care about and you don't think about, guess what? Eventually they matter. There was a day when you told me you love Dreamcast, and eventually, guess what? That came to an end. And you probably thought then sales didn't matter. You probably thought then mind share didn't matter. Eventually, but
you know what was upsetting to me about Dreamcast? People was upsetting to me about Dreamcast, and I actually
Microsoft and Xbox to a certain standard, so we can make sure that it keeps.
But I'm not holding them to Sony.
Xbox a failure? Let me ask you this question: Sony's winning, obviously, right? But is Xbox a failure this generation?
Yeah.
Is it a failure? Because a failure to me is losing money, not selling any consoles. Yes, they lost mind share from
mind share.
Yes, they did because they messed up at the beginning of the generation. They lost mind share.
But it's Xbox. Their target was 200 million consoles, and they sold about 40 million consoles. So,
is it a failure? Yes or no?
No, you tell me.
Yes.
Why is it a failure? Because why is it a failure? Because they lost the mind share.
Expectations for that console did not get met, and that's why it's a failure.
Okay, so is the PS3 a failure?
I don't know.
Well, they lost mind share. The PS2 sold 155 million. So was the PS3 a failure?
What were their expectations for console sales?
Yeah, I'm sure every console will want to sell more than their previous console.
Well, Xbox One Xbox One was what 200 million.
Well, Microsoft came out and said for this generation they had an expectation of selling a certain amount of consoles. They didn't meet that expectation. So to me, that's a failure for them.
So it's a failure, but even though they're still making money, you still
they're still making money financially. They're fine, but
they're the world's richest company. Who cares?
But they're making money off of Xbox. I'm not talking about them as a company. They're still making money off of Xbox.
Listen, so all the companies are making money. It's about how much money they're making. It's not about if you're making money. Of course they're making money, or else they wouldn't be in business. Of course they're making money.
Okay, so why did Dreamcast fail then? Why did Dreamcast fail? You just asked Xbox. Why did Dreamcast fail?
It fell.
They wasn't making money.
No, that's not. Listen, you asked me a question. If you're gonna answer it, then answer it. But you asked me a question. I was gonna answer.
Go ahead.
Okay, why
Xbox failed for various amounts of reasons.
Okay.
For two, they launched too many hardware consoles in such a short period of time. They lost the mind share because they didn't have the games, they didn't have EA, they didn't have the big publishers that they once had. That's why they fail. And because of cranking out all that hardware and making stupid decisions to go with CD or GD-ROM instead of
actually the bootleg market is what swallowed the Dreamcast.
Sega, right?
So I gave you a bunch of reasons why.
Yeah, but the main reason is because of the bootleg market pretty much swallowed that console whole.
They could have easily decided to drop another console. They decided to call it quits and just focus on their software, which they are a software developer right now. They made that decision. They could have easily decided to make another console, but their American counterpart, as well as their Japanese counterpart, had internal struggles and they were fighting amongst each other. That's why they ended up with a 32X in the Sega Saturn. In between those two dropping almost literally at the same time fighting, it was just one big struggle, and the Dreamcast didn't help, and they lost the mind share. PlayStation took it and ran, and that was the end of that. They made that decision.
Sounds
now
familiar.
Microsoft is the world's richest company, right? Us talking about their pockets and how much money they're making is really not fair.
They're a corporation,
at the end of the day, right? We're talking about how Xbox can maintain the health as far as the mind share with the gamers, because at the end of the day, come next October, November, when they drop these consoles, you're gonna have most people, right? I'm not saying everybody's gonna go out and buy both consoles, but most people are gonna go out and say, I have $500 to spend on the console. Which one am I gonna get? Based on this generation and how it went, I'm leaning towards a lot of people saying, look, I'm going with the guy who has a traditional message, a guy
yeah, that's exactly what they're saying, a traditional message, dude. Whatever, man.
Nobody's denying
you think differently, go ahead and state it.
Nobody's denying.
No, that's exactly what they're thinking in their mind. I need the guy who has a more traditional message.
They're gonna stick with the
I'm
ecosystem
thinking.
they already have.
That's what won this generation, right?
Nobody's denying that Xbox has their work cut out for them. Nobody's saying Xbox is going to win next generation. I'm not saying that. At least I'm not saying that. But bro, I don't. Some of the stuff you say sometimes you just cry about. You have about me saying ridiculous
about me telling the truth on what it is, right? I get people think, oh, anytime you say something that's truth about Microsoft, it's negative in your fear mongering. Like, come on, we're grown,
radical
man. Come on, we gotta.
I don't say shit like that.
You extremist.
Yeah,
well, you're so crazy, J-Dub. Come on, man. We can't be out there fear mongering. I mean, they got Battletoads and flight simulators. And
listen, if you want me to lie, and I can lie to you.
If it's down, like Jay, if it's down to it,
all those games are great, and Xbox is doing substantially great, and it's the best thing. I can lie to you.
No. But, like, you don't have to, like, when it comes down to it, if you already feel that you are in a proper place with PlayStation and everything like that, I don't understand your need to constantly compare the two. Like, I don't understand that.
Listen, until the end of time, you will always compare a Ford versus a Chevy. You will always compare a Ferrari versus a Lamborghini. You will always compare a McLaren.
You don't know me too well then, brother.
Come on.
You don't know me too well then, bro.
Listen, Xbox, you're special, right? You're special. You're the guy.
Dude, I have common sense.
You play games that everybody else.
I'm here with the gamers. I'm not trying to be up there with the shareholders and shit like that, man.
I told you, man, you're special. You do the things that I wouldn't do and other people wouldn't do, and you're special in that way, right? I'm not trying to persuade you at all. But what I'm saying is, being upset that I'm saying what I'm saying is, tell me where I'm lying. If I'm lying about it, tell me about it and prove that. And then, hey, if I'm lying and you have a valid point, then fine. I don't mind conceding that. But being upset because I do what I do, and because you don't want to hear me say anything that may not be in positive light of Xbox, that's the reason why Xbox.
I mean, when it comes down to
everyone champion fandom does with original access. Original assets. Everyone champions
Voodoo Vince.
Everybody did. Not everybody.
Until you end up, hey Phil, how about you give us another banjo? Okay, I got you. Hey Nintendo fans, here you go. You got banjo. And nobody cares. Nobody's seeing.
Somebody want a damn banjo.
Nobody's seeing.
Nobody want no fucking banjo. Man.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, they like maybe.
Oh,
but
Phil has the banjo shirt on. We get the banjo guy. Come on, I got
he's like this isn't for you guys. This is for Nintendo. We listen to our fans.
Nintendo.
Yeah, we listen.
Nobody wants banjo.
Nobody wants banjo. I don't know about that, man. I mean, I would have taken one.
No,
you know,
he said it's not coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not. It's definitely not coming.
We know we got Bleeding Edge coming. We know we got Battletoads. We know, we got
Battletoads.
We know we got these games, right? And I hope they come out. I hope they're 99 Metacritic. I hope they knock it out the park. But
yeah, right.
History
no, you don't. No, you don't.
History tells us.
Hey, if you add up all four, they might hit 99.
History tells us, right? All we have to go by is history. And the track record in the history hasn't been good for those particular type of games from Microsoft. I hope they change.
What type of games?
You know, for like the Battletoads and the Bleeding Edge style game. You know,
what style are you talking? Like I'm trying to
low budget.
That has to do with it. Maybe low budget.
But let's just get a game out type games.
Yeah, low budget.
Yeah,
you know, I mean
nobody's asking for those games, but they're gonna release them anyway.
Yeah.
But everybody asked for a banjo. Everybody asked for a sequel to Rise. Everyone asked for a Sunset Overdrive 2
or Quantum Break 2.
Quantum Break 2. And feels like no. And nobody finds anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I find it incredibly wrong because everybody always pumps that guy up like he's some amazing guy.
I'm not the Xbox guy, right?
You guys are obsessed.
You can say I'm not the Xbox.
You guys are obsessed
with
Phil, bro.
I don't see why you guys, the diehard Xbox guys, are not saying that. I don't see you saying anything to Phil about Phil, give me this. I want this.
Well, Phil doesn't answer us for starters, and obviously he hasn't listened to anything that anybody else has said on this podcast.
I bet he's like, they love Crackdown 3. Let's go ahead and greenlight Crackdown 4.
Like you said, we've asked for these games. I've seen enough tweets out there asking for those games you just mentioned.
Here's
and Phil's like, fuck it, I'm gonna give you Phantom Dust.
We have seen some tweets like that, right? But every year, hundreds of, just thousands of people go to FanFest. They have Phil's ear. They're right there in front of him. They talk to him, take pictures with him, hug him, everything else. That's the time to bring that shit up. Hey, Phil, how about this?
And this is the thing. These are the same people like that are saying,
bring
fuck
that stuff
Xbox.
up just on Twitter constantly, man.
Hey, the people that meet this guy are under this cult of personality. I've never seen anything like it. It's like they will throw themselves in front of the train for this guy, right? They are not the ones that'll bring up anything legit
that's not
concerning
me,
Xbox. Well, have you met Phil? Have you been around him?
Dude, I want to meet him because I would do exactly what Jay is saying here. When it comes down to it, yes, I wanted a Sunset Overdrive.
You know what?
More than anything.
Xbot,
right?
yesterday, I'll let you finish in a second. Yesterday, I saw this thing. I think all day retweeted it. Mike Tyson was getting interviewed. You saw this too yesterday, right, Mooch?
It was. I was absolutely.
Yeah. Like that. That would be my interview to Phil Spencer. I'd be calling him out like that, right? That'd be my thing, right? Because he comes across like he's this nice guy, but then he's the quickest guy to throw you under the bus completely. He hasn't listened to anything anybody's asked or requested this entire generation. He blows smoke up everybody's ass. He only does stuff that and pretends to be like, oh, we're all for the gamers. If they were really for the gamers, they wouldn't be charging people $60 a year for free-to-play games. You know what I mean? Like the multiplayer for that. Yeah, they wouldn't be charging us for multiplayer while the
look at the Game Pass and what they're doing with xCloud as well.
And that's just because that fits in with their narrative of services.
Yeah, but
that's not really benefiting us.
That's a business thing right there. You think Apple gives a shit about like their customers or whatnot?
Well, I would assume if you don't have a happy customer, they're not going to stick with you.
Oh, well, no, there's a difference between having a happy customer and caring about your customer. You care that your customer buys your product and everything like that.
Phil said he doesn't care if we buy his Xbox.
Well, no, buy into everything that they're doing. Like, when it comes to Game Pass, when xCloud comes out, playing games on PC, or if you want, if you're a console guy, pick up a console and play games there.
Phil doesn't realize that like this 2 billion stuff is just like this faux number going around that's never going to happen. He also doesn't realize that once they took out the speciality of having exclusives that are only on your box, that it really watered those down as well. Like those games aren't as good anymore since they've been doing that. And that's, I mean, you can look and see that it's a fact. And they not only that, but they delayed everything. How many games got delayed this generation? Crackdown got delayed. Quantum Break got delayed. You know what I mean? Like these games are getting delayed, and one of the reasons is because they got to put it on PC as well, day and date. And they've got to have net code to work together, and they got to do this, and they got to do that, and crossplay. It's like this rigmarole, and it's bullshit, right? If they would have just
bullshit because you're not a PC gamer though.
I'm not a PC gamer
as well,
and
you'd
who
be
got
like, hell
banned?
yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, of course, because it's going to be easy to womp up on the console peasants, right?
Yeah,
didn't somebody just get banned?
Didn't
PC
somebody would get excited? Dude.
Didn't somebody just get banned? A popular streamer of Fortnite for using an aimbot in a lobby? Like this is the stuff you're inviting.
That was one of the big concerns between me and you going forward.
Yeah, but they don't care. They do not care. Can you still disable crossplay with Sea of Thieves?
I don't know.
Can you disable crossplay in arcade mode on Gears 5? No. It's the number one requested thing.
But you can do it on Call of Duty.
This is sad, man. This shit here is sad, man.
I know, Dirt.
It
is sad, man.
Crazy,
it is sad. Hey, everybody hit the like button, man.
Now, by the way.
Everybody hit that like button. Hey, Mooch, what topic are we supposed to be on, Mooch?
Oh,
man, I lost track.
Yo, crap! I got an idea. I got an idea. Everybody in the chat, hit the like button if you like what I'm saying. If you don't like what I'm saying, hit the like button anyway.
Yeah, those likes should skyrocket with that second hit the like button. I'm telling you. PS4 officially at 103 million consoles. Incredible. I can even wind this next one in there as well. We've seen some deals that are going to be posted on Black Friday where you can get a PS4 Slim for $199 with not Death Stranding, but Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, and of course The Last of Us. That is hit after hit after hit.
Yeah.
I mean, how many consoles are they going to sell? Hey, it is, man. It's a great bundle, man. I've seen some of them for like the console itself. I seen going as low as 150. Like, do you guys think? And Mooch, like you haven't chimed in a while. People are worried about you. Like,
I'm still here.
Do you guys think that like we haven't got the usual price drops that we get for these consoles? Do you think that maybe that was a mistake? That they should have been dropping the price earlier?
I actually saw a video you did on that crowd. I thought that was an interesting point or it was one.
They always announce those price drops at E3 too. They're like, we're lowering it $299.
I don't know why there isn't a permanent price drop for the Xbox One X at this point. I can't figure that out. I mean, I know there's a lot of sales,
unless Scarlett's going to be like $700.
Well, and that may be that was something we were talking about before the show went live. Crap, I don't know if you heard it. Me and Dirt were talking about it, and it was actually a really good point. Is that it depends. I think 700 is extreme.
Yeah.
But I think there's rumors out there. There's
$599
that $599 is on the table.
The last console to do that was what, the PS3?
The PS3.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I mean, Jay, you know this as well as I know this. $599 in 2006 is different than $599 in 2020.
That's true.
Right. So, I mean, if something is 500 or 600, you got to look at what you're getting in the box.
But Mooch, listen, this generation has left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth when it comes to the Xbox. You
man. We was talking about
we originally paid $500 for the OG Xbox.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did.
We turned around and paid what, $400 for the S.
Yes, yeah.
Then we turned around and paid another $500 for the X, and then now
why would you buy?
Come on.
Why would you buy it? I can understand the fat at launch.
Everybody did that.
I can understand. No, I didn't. You can ask Mooch. I skipped out on the S. I'm like, why am I gonna buy that?
I bought the S. He did, but I bought it because I had bought my first 4K TV. And the S had a 4K.
It had a 4K Blu-ray.
And upscaled, and
there was a reason to go out there and get it.
It looked like a VCR player. Come on, it was a lot of reasons.
Oh my goodness,
that's true.
It was a lot of reasons.
Go ahead, Dirt. You can say it again, brother.
People wanted that extra boost of power.
To
try to do that, and then the X launched, and it was $500. And now you're gonna tell
let's talk about how like Concrete Genie and Medieval wasn't in PlayStation.
Hey, good games, man. Good games. Good games.
They were in the 70s, so I mean that's higher than 99% of Xbox games.
No, that's not.
Hey, man, do you write your comebacks? You be real quick with your shit.
I keep them in the back, man. I keep them ready.
Hey, let's just be real, man. How do those games stack up against, say, a Recore or a
Hey,
State
man,
of Decay
stop going back
2.
to 2016, man. Stop it.
Hey, man. Hey, Sea of Thieves. That was not 2016.
Okay, 2018. I'll go
Hey,
back.
Crackdown 3.
Sony's worst games are in
Dude,
contention.
Sea of Thieves actually has a cult following of gamers that are completely dedicated to that game.
I get it. It's interesting. It is.
So you know, maybe bashing it isn't the best thing to do right now because it you know, for a new IP to come out, one of the best things, first off, is to catch
all
a
that
cult
power.
For a new IP, I want to use that same excuse for Death Stranding.
Well,
hey, man, what's going on with Red Dead Redemption on the PC? Is it like
oh man, it's broken. Yeah,
it's broken.
It's all busted. Yeah, it's like
I feel so bad for PC gamers. They waited longer than everybody else. And then when it comes out, it's freaking broken. Dude.
Now, did Rockstar
broken or did they fix it?
It's broken.
No, it's still broken.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, did Rockstar
like
port it? Did Rockstar port it themselves, or did they just hire somebody to do it for them?
No, I heard Rockstar was pretty silent on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that
yeah,
makes
like
kind of worse. But I mean, I don't. It's surprising, isn't it? I mean, how do you get to a point where the game has been out for so long? But like, well, it doesn't. It's not about even the power crap because even the most powerful cards on the market can't play this game.
And that's part of the problem, right? You spend $1,300 on a 20
the new Crisis 3
for breakfast,
like I did, and you're running the thing at 40 frames a second, so you no longer feel like you're the master race anymore. When the
Mikey Barra left
smooth and
left one sinking ship for another, and people wonder what's up with that? You know what I mean? That's like
Blizzard looking good right now. What are you talking about? They announced Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2. They're looking good right now.
They're like Diablo 4. You won't even sniff it for years.
Yeah, but you gotta focus on the fan base that has been waiting for that announcement. So right now they have basically, this is something that Phil Spencer, Xbox can take note.
I was just gonna say, good point, Xbox. This is something crap where we say, you know what? Why don't you come out there and announce something? They say Diablo 4. The minute somebody says anything negative for the next 12 to 18 months about Blizzard, they're like, well, I agree with you, but they already got my Diablo 4 money.
Yo, they got Diablo 4 and Overwatch 2. How do they get these games out one after the other, right? And they announce them, and we know Marvel movies, and we know Star Wars movies are coming years out. What's coming next year for Xbox? What's coming the year after that for Xbox?
Next year is hold on. Next year is a launch year.
All that power.
Okay. Next year is a launch year. I what you're saying about the announcements when we
what does Sony have for next year?
4 years.
The Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Final Fantasy 7 remake.
Oh, I'm sorry, they announced those all for
Neo 2.
PS5.
Oh crap, my bad.
Yeah.
They got bangers.
They got bangers, man. What does Xbox have? 4K Battletoads looking like a 4-year-old drew it. You know what I mean?
My goodness, man.
Hey, we all saw how good Battletoads looked in Killer Instinct, right? All that power, and now it's like we get these little weirdos that move like two feet a second. You know what I mean? It's like it's ridiculous. They're so slow. Nobody's gonna play that game. What a debacle! Like everybody was worried about it. If I were Phil, I would cancel.
I guess you could call me nobody then, man.
Hey man, you're not a nobody, but let's just be real, man. Nobody's looking for the most part, the majority aren't giving two shits about that game.
I actually have quite a few people on my friends list that send me messages talking about Battletoads,
and you believe them. That's nice.
Oh, well, I hope so. That's one thing.
Let's put it this way: if Battletoads was a $60 game, I don't think anybody would be buying it. Since it's
well, dude, if it was a $60 game, then I would be complaining about that.
$10 game,
even
right?
a $30 game, I still wouldn't think that people would be like
that game can't be more than $10, right? I mean, honestly,
yeah.
I don't see how it could be. But I did want to talk about this. Speaking of all that power, Xbox One X, the most powerful console, true 4K. Call of Duty, the biggest release of the year, and Outer Worlds, both running better on PS4 Pro in terms of frame rate and things like. Not only that, but Grassgate is back. There's less grass on the Xbox One.
There's only dirt on the Xbox.
Yeah, there's dirt. What do you have to say, dirt, about the extra dirt on the
go get
Xbox
water. I'll be right
version?
back. Yeah.
All right.
Man, who gives a shit?
You tell him.
Hey, no, I'm just curious, man. All that power, $500 console, the biggest game of the year, Call of Duty, and Outer Worlds, a first-party Xbox studio, and it doesn't run best on Xbox.
Red Dead native 4K solid.
Yeah, it's great, and it looks great on Xbox. Bravo to them for doing that, right?
Yeah,
but what about Microsoft's own studio? And what about the biggest game of the year in Call of Duty?
Well, it has a higher resolution, so I don't know.
It runs like trash. How
does it run that much worse?
Yes, it does. Here's the thing about it, right? They would sacrifice resolution for performance, and Digital Foundry even did their thing, and they said, "Is it really worth it?" It wasn't. They should have did like the PlayStation and targeted 1440p and kept the frames. Frames is everything when it comes to shooters. And if you're chugging along at the wrong moment, it chugs down. That's when you die. You're gonna get frustrated.
Yeah. I mean, it's a problem, like here it is. Everybody tells me that the Xbox One X is such a powerful machine and it's great and plays everything better. And then you see like the biggest, hottest hits of the year and it doesn't play it better. So you sort of have to wonder about that. Mooch, what do you think about that?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it's like when you ask your kid, you like me better or your teacher, and the kid's like, the teacher's pretty cool. You don't want your kid to ever say that. And when you got your own baby going out there, and the baby doesn't look as good on your own console, that's not good. Or it doesn't play as well. And this is time and time again. We were talking about this on MNC. Here I am. I bought, I got it mooched, but nonetheless, that's not the point. Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. Right? I mean, let's just be honest. And it looks very good on the X. It plays better, right? It plays it better on the PlayStation. Well, that's why. I mean, shooters are always playing better on Xbox.
What are you planning on, Crap?
I'm playing on the X, man. I got it. You can't game gift on PlayStation.
Oh,
they got to work on that. That's for damn sure.
No.
Yeah, you can't.
PlayStation's got to get. They got to catch it. But I mean,
exclusive.
It is 2 days. That is an issue. I myself personally, I say this all the time, and I know that the guys went back and forth, and I'm trying to make it a situation where the audience kind of picks up on this, but it's a leadership issue. There's no way if that was my department, whatever that is that's in charge. You can't really blame Phil for this one. Phil's the head of it, but nonetheless. You say to Matt Booty, hey, Matt, you know what? This is actually not going to look as good on our console.
Hey, you know what?
I'm like, I'll be damned. That's our company.
You know what?
It looks good. It doesn't run as good.
You know what job Phil would be good at? He'd be good at running EA or something. You know what I mean?
Dirt, you know what? Dirt, you know the thing about it, though, is that you really can't say, well, it's one or the other. It's yours. It should be better looking and run better. Yeah. Like what kind of think about it, Dirt. That's what I'm trying to bring people to the table and understand. If this was all the people on the panel right now, we were the guys sitting at the mahogany table, okay, in Redmond, and I said, Dirt, here's I got a news report in here that's saying basically this is looking like it's going to run better on the PlayStation. You'd be like, well, yeah, I apologize. I'm like, Dirt, we got to fix this. Yeah. I mean, like I can't. How am I supposed to go out there?
Top guys down there. Oh shit, Ibarra quit.
Hey, you guys remember?
It's a leadership issue where this is. I just wouldn't even. I'd be like that can't exist, buddy.
Guys,
it's got to be fixed.
Quick, do you guys know what resolution textures they're using in comparison to each? Like what kind of lighting engine they're using to represent light in these games and stuff like that? Because when it comes down to it, the grass thing was probably the kind of like the most shocking.
I'm not even talking about the grass section.
Yeah, no, but that because you know me, man. I dive under the hood. I get into the tech stuff
under the hood.
All right, and when it comes down to it, first off, you got to realize, what they're pointing out here in terms of frames and stuff like that. Yeah. Your frames will stutter the more complicated your scene is, when it comes to powerful hardware. And I'm not gonna cast any judgment right now because I don't know what they're doing for lighting. I don't know what they're doing for their anti-aliasing. I don't know.
2 T-flops more on the X than the Pro. So that shouldn't.
I got you, and it's all about optimization. So at that point in time, with them doing what they did,
it's their game. That's Microsoft's game. That's not.
They were there at the very
developers.
No, I'm not saying biased developers at all, dude. I'm saying we don't know the whole picture here when it comes down to it. Just like, when it came to Grand Theft Auto and the blades of grass over there and stuff like that, or when people were arguing about 180 pixels and stuff like that, like people didn't realize the whole picture of what was going on. And I think right here as well, people just don't know the whole picture. It doesn't make sense because, you know, when it comes down to it, the Xbox One X is clearly the most powerful system. So if you're going in with that knowledge and stuff like that, the first thing you think about is optimization. All right. When it comes down to it, I know people are like, well, you know, Obsidian is a first-party studio. Yeah, they were a first-party studio at the bottom of the 9th inning of development for the Outer Worlds as well.
But it was okay to give them all the credit for delivering a great new first-party.
Did I do that? Did I do that? Dude, I can't. Hold on. Here's the deal. I cannot account for everybody out there on social media. I cannot account for every Xbox gamer out there. The only thing I can do is throw out that common sense, that level-headedness that I see. Okay? That's what I can do. I'm not going to vouch. I'm not going to cash checks for people out there in the Xbox community who are diving into console wars and stuff like that. Guys, I'm not cashing your checks, all right? I'm not backing you up when it comes to
I hear you,
that.
man. That's what I was saying all along, too, man. I mean, that like
common sense is if you bought a company and they put a game out under your name, using your name, you make sure that shit is running the best on your console.
That's just the way it is. That's the bottom line.
And they should have made sure that shit happened.
Well, also common sense at the end of the day when we're talking about mindshare and stuff like that. Can you imagine if, you know, Xbox, they just acquired Obsidian, they're ready to drop their new game. Oh, we need about an 8-month delay on that.
It's not
or something like that.
Microsoft released this.
I want to talk about. I've been waiting to talk about this with Mooch. Stadia is releasing in 2 weeks. There's not a damn peep about this bullshit.
Apparently, you're not following me and J-Dub.
No, I don't see anything. I mean, I see Mooch like
you didn't see IGN. IGN's doing their first on Stadia. You must have missed IGN.
I totally missed. I don't see
all that Death Stranding shit. That's why
I don't see anybody talking about Stadia though, like at all. Like nobody in the chats or in the
it's a new thing. They people don't know about it yet. Crap. Word out there.
By the way,
what it is.
I found out on that IGN video, doing that video, they said the games that are for Google Stadia are created and optimized for Stadia. So it's not like they're just porting the PC version or the console version. It's a version specifically for Google Stadia. That's why they're able to minimize they don't have to sacrifice, you know, textures and resolution and all that stuff because it's optimized.
It's built for that predictive movement, man.
Yeah, but and they broke that technology down.
They want to move it for you.
You know, they broke the tech down, and you know, obviously with time and algorithms and everything else, it's going to be there. So I can't wait for it because you think about games like Red Dead, right? Right now, you know, people waited a whole year for that game, and it's barely playable on the PC.
That's so
Google
sad.
Stadia, there's no load times, there's no patches, there's no nothing, no waiting. Jump in the game, play it, 4K 60 HDR. Hey,
and when you want to trade it with your friend or let your friend borrow it,
at the age I'm at, if my friend is going to borrow something, I'll go, buy your own.
Facts.
What's your Mooch?
That's right. I'm Mooch. They aren't.
Crap. How many times you loan your friends your games?
Well, when I was physical, I used to all the time. But
crap, you live 75 miles from a neighbor.
I do game share though with my brother.
Are you kidding me?
So there is that.
It'd be cheaper for me to buy the game than come to your house and borrow it.
Well, Mooch, like
there is a buddy pass, so you can do that as well.
Oh, a buddy pass, man! That's what I'm looking for.
What people don't get about Stadia is Stadia is literally a service, folks. It's if you want to play it on the go. Okay, there's a lot of different things. Listen, there's little TVs in the airport, right?
And how much are these?
You swipe your credit card and you can watch all the shows when you're on an airplane. Crap. Okay,
I'm never on one, but yeah, go ahead.
So there's a few people that are. Okay, and I'll tell you right now, when you swipe your credit card on the seat, you can watch all the TV and shows and movies you want, anything you want. Guess what? That's not for you, right? Because you're on your couch.
You're damn right.
You're not 25,000 feet in the air.
I'm not gonna double dip on shit. That's for sure.
That are in the air that can't bring their Xbox One, like the convenient folks that work at IGN that put everything in a backpack and take it to their friends' roof parties.
Now, are you going with fanny pack? Or
no, you know what I'm going with? What? I'm going with the controller in my hand.
Dude, I just pictured Mooch with a fanny pack, dude.
Gotcha.
That's
okay, so and what are you going to play it on?
Pop it in. Yeah, you
my
got your phone,
tablet,
you got your computer,
phone,
your tablet,
laptop.
your TV.
Oh, I got you. But how are you gonna have, without a fanny pack? You need something to hook up your, your.
Crap, you really don't.
How are you gonna play
travel.
xCloud? How are you gonna play xCloud?
I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like
exact same thing. We got.
You get one carry-on crap. I use a backpack, not a fanny pack.
Okay. Well, no, I was just curious because I'm waiting for this influx of people to carry around a Bluetooth, a big ass controller.
I think I gave the best. I think I gave the best example, and I didn't even write it down before the show. Okay, there's people watching and paying for entertainment in the air.
Yeah,
that's not you. You're on a couch.
I don't know, but I don't know how good is the speeds up there.
That's pretty. It's pretty good.
It's great.
You're not playing 4K in the air.
I understand that, but I mean, you're moving.
You only need
and we were all like, everybody was watching YouTube. Everybody's watching movies, streaming like crazy on JetBlue. We're doing fine.
I mean, watching a movie, though.
Google Stadia is my Scarlett replacement, period.
Your Scarlett replacement.
It is. All I had to do was spend you had $120, and I got 2 controllers. I get a buddy pass. I get everything. The Chromecast. I get everything I need.
Here's the thing. Crap makes a good point when it comes down to the multiplayer. I'm not playing many multiplayer games on Google Stadia. I don't see that happening. But when you take a game like Watch Dogs Legions, you take a game like Borderlands 3, you take a game like, even let's say Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
Like those are games that I'm enjoying and I can do on the go. And not just that, it's seamlessly nonstop. On the airplane, I'm playing. I get off, I'm waiting for the ride, I'm playing on my phone. Get to the hotel, plug in the Chromecast, I'm playing on a 50-inch television set. Like it's nonstop. I go, and it is. Now, let's fast forward. Now Mooch is home. You know what he does? Takes his Chromecast, takes the controller, neatly puts it away where he puts the rest of his belongings when he goes on travel, and he sits on his couch, and he plays his Xbox and his PlayStation.
But don't you have a Switch?
I don't feel like playing Mario Odyssey in the air all day.
They got Doom, Witcher. They got all kinds of stuff, man.
Listen,
they got Outer Worlds.
They got it at 432p. Listen, Crap.
What do you think your phone's gonna do?
My phone's gonna do a hell of a lot more than 432p.
Yeah, that Switch screen's looking pretty sweet compared to that 3.5
OLED
inch, though.
iPhone 11 Pro Max.
You can't even play
OLED
on your OLED on your iPhone.
You can next year. You can next year.
It's in January. Hey, Mooch, I think the fear is just people that they fear that this thing is actually going to work.
Yep.
People are going to buy it. They're going to be able to play their multiplayer games and all kind of other games. It's going to look good, and it's going to be sufficient enough to where they will think, do I have to spend another $500-$600 on a console, or hey, 10.7 T flops, they can upgrade it to.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
so you're saying that people will think it's good enough to not have to buy any more consoles. Effectively,
listen, I'm not buying the Scarlett. This is my Scarlett. Instantly. I'll be playing Scarlett in 2 weeks.
That's not for me, man. Like,
Game Pass is coming to it.
We got to stop with that. We got to stop with that. It's not for me thing, because a lot of this stuff isn't for everybody. It's not.
I
mean, listen,
I don't see
Crap.
Crap.
The number one. Listen, what's the number one console that people are playing on right now? PS4 Slim, Xbox One S. That's not for you either.
Hey, the reason why Game Pass won't go to it is because, like you said, you have to do specific coding for it. Whereas, like the games that go in xCloud or whatever, there's nothing extra needed.
The developers will code for. Trust me, Microsoft.
I mean, they could, but I just like Google and Microsoft don't get along. The whole reason they're doing xCloud is to combat that. I don't.
But crap. Microsoft went to Sony and tried to give them freaking Gears of War and Halo. You don't think that they would give it to Google?
Oh, absolutely.
I think they hate Google way worse than
Crap.
Sony.
You know what they love? They love money. They don't care.
They do, but why didn't they work out YouTube being able to stream to YouTube then?
Because of Mixer. Microsoft wanted their own thing, and
but
they
you can still stream the Twitch.
They weren't willing to pay the money. They wanted to do their own thing.
It's a really crappy version of streaming a Twitch, by the way.
Yeah.
But like my point being is that crap. The minute Xbox Game Pass and all the other services, this was an IGN article, believe it or not. IGN said Game Pass. They threw out EA Origins. They said all of these folks are probably going to all end up on Stadia.
Yep.
And once you can do that, now I can take all my games on with the road with me and do what I want to do. And I'm telling you, Stadia is going to launch. Hear me out, everybody, because I just can't wait for the 19th. Oh my God, it's a little laggy, Mooch. It's a little laggy.
That's gonna be me.
I know everybody's gonna be coming at, right? Dude, it's new tech. Like not new tech, like new hardware that came out that they've been working on for 3 years while we were in this generation.
They've
It's
been working on it for 8
legitimately new tech, right?
They've been working on it for 8 years.
So this is gonna take a good year to, if you don't want to be
What happened
part
to
of this,
Google-
I
what
get
happened to
it.
Google Glass, though, I'm curious.
Google what?
Google Glass.
Oh, I got that. That was a test.
Crap, that was a $700
That was just like
pair of
HoloLens.
glasses.
That was just like what happened to HoloLens.
That was a $700 pair of glasses.
What
that
they
you could
working
check
on?
out
What was
weekend-
that? Google Fiber too, and they gave up on that.
Google Glass was a $700 version of checking out Wikipedia in your eyeball.
I don't
Listen,
know,
this is
man. I'm
different.
just saying, man. I'm highly dubious, and I'm curious whose approach they take. Are they going to announce?
It's doing the exact same thing that Microsoft is trying to do with xCloud.
I think Microsoft's
Google
going to
Stadia
fail.
fails. Guess what? Microsoft xCloud is going to fail.
I think they're both going to fail like incredibly fast and hard. I just don't see. I especially in North America, I don't see people.
Crap. What's the worst that can happen? You lose $120 or $60 or how?
Well, I personally would not have enough to be able to consistently play that, like whatever, like they suggest 10 or whatever. But so I don't like mine.
Crap.
Often, like I think right now mine's like a 6 or 7. So it wouldn't do me
Do
any-
you have Netflix at home?
Xbox said it best. Everybody has short-term memory. Let me take everybody back to 2007 when I was the only one that was an iPhone fanboy, like everybody says. I was an iPhone guy. They're like, oh my God, you're telling me you're going to walk around with that thing? You know how many times I drop my phone? I need a keyboard. If I don't have a keyboard, it's not a phone. I can't text on that little glass thing you guys got. That's really funny. Look how slow the Edge network is. It's such
I remember that, Boots.
Right?
I remember
that? It'll never work. You're out of your mind. Listen, stop it. You sound ridiculous when you say these types of things. I'm not saying it's for anybody, but what I'm saying is it's a viable option. And the minute the first person that says, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it, the minute you got to go to California and back from New York, you're going to love it.
I doubt
Mooch,
they're going to love their Switch.
Hey, Moose, do you remember when BlackBerry owners were like, oh, no, it doesn't have a keyboard. No, I need my keyboard.
My thumbs are too big for that little piece of glass. I heard it all.
Yeah,
Kurt, I heard it all. And it was
I remember that.
And I told
Now,
people,
you guys
I'm
this.
like, you're out of your mind.
Right.
Like, this is where we're going. This is actually what I want in my pocket.
That, yeah.
I don't want a keyboard or a typewriter in my
vividly.
pocket.
I remember that vividly. Let me ask you guys this. Is Fortnite on Stadia? Like, was it announced for Stadia?
It'll all be on Stadia.
I believe
was it hold on, Jay. Was it announced to be on Stadia?
33 launch
They had a list
games.
of like hundreds of games. They
Okay, was Fortnite on that list?
I don't know. You
okay, then you don't know. Just say you don't know, man.
There was an article about it though.
It probably will be on there.
It's not launching day and date, but it
Hey, what's their big exclusive?
That's
that they're
actual
with?
information for the people in the chat.
Xbox.
Hey, no, I'm just curious what their exclusive is that they're launching with.
Orbs.
If
yeah, I mean that's we're all dying to play Orbs.
If Fortnite's on Switch, it's coming to Stadia.
Hey, but listen,
yeah, I know, but when it comes down to it, you know,
nobody's.
It's not their day and date.
Yeah, no, you gave the information, Mooch.
Yeah,
I'm rooting for it. Listen, I'm rooting for Stadia because I love new technology, and I think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to take off initially, but I think once they come with the phone stuff with Stadia, and
I mean, this thing could hit 10, 20,000 users.
Nah, I think it's going to work eventually. I don't think it's going to take off at launch,
man.
I think it's the fear that Google has the money to be able to go and buy up and gobble up stuff. I think it's the fear.
I'm telling you right now, Jay.
And they do have the money for it too.
The minute they want to start to really spend some money, I'm telling you, the only player
they don't care. They're worse suits than Microsoft.
You already think Phil don't care about getting Sunset Overdrive 2 and some of those and hiring some of these big AAA companies. Just wait till Google starts spending money.
Google already said what their plan is. To open up 3 studios over the next few years, and it's going to take years for them to come out.
Yo, guys, check this out. What I'm hearing,
they've already started a couple of studios. Yeah, you know
what I'm hearing from you guys. I
understand that, but let me say this though: Microsoft has at least earned some level of cred throughout 3 generations, where Google just comes in and they're like, hey, we want to capitalize on this shit. You know what I mean? Like they have less soul than Microsoft, and Microsoft I don't think has one.
Oh damn, dude!
Microsoft got a soul. Stop it.
But guys, basically we're in a wait and see right here. Yo, what they're doing, of course, Stadia, they're trying to do the whole streaming thing or whatever. Xbox is trying to do the same thing down the line as well. When it comes down to it, we don't know what people are going to do with it. So
look, crap. The thing and Xbox, I don't mean to cut you off, but we only have 5 minutes left, and I only got about 8 minutes on the whole show. Right? So my whole point here is that you got to look at the history here. I believe a gentleman that did an interview on the IGN first. They had a few released today, and one of them, they said that they've been working on this for well over eight years.
Cool.
They went and grabbed an absolute ton of talent. I mean, they've got a lot of people over there. They got they've robbed a lot of people from Sony.
Talent for initiative and stuff like that. Also, the guy that's
but what do we crap? Wait, let me finish. Let me answer your point. Yeah, we do give the initiative shit for that, right? Like, hey, we picked up this guy. Hey, we picked up that guy. We don't even have a title for the game yet, right?
Exactly.
Here's the thing. These guys are like, hey, we took this guy. Hey, we took that guy. By the way, we're launching in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right?
And
That's showmanship.
We're launching, anytime you want to get into a gamer's heart, you got to launch with something unique, some kind of exclusive, some kind of banger.
Here's the exclusive crap. You could take not true. It's the service that's the exclusive.
Dude, I can stream. I can do that on any game you want right now. If you're in a preview program, you can stream it from your Xbox to your phone. You can also do that with the PlayStation. Like, they're literally offering you 0 in terms of exclusive, 0 game ownership, 0 ability to mod, 0.
I own it as much as you do
now, because they can.
You don't own anything either.
They can shut down the servers, but as long as I have my console and my game, I can still play it.
No, you can't. Not if it requires it to hit the online servers.
Well, if you need it to hit an online server, but I'm just saying, like, for the most part, if you have your games, I can go back any generation.
I have physical copies of a ton of games that I can't play.
Like, obviously, Destiny wouldn't be a good example because that's an online-only game. But if I wanted to go back and play, no matter what the game is,
have all that content day one.
Yeah, and I mean, what happens if it drops? You know what I mean? Like, what happens then?
Destiny 3.
But what if you're playing a multiplayer game?
It's the same thing.
Do they have an achievement system?
Yes, they are having an achievement.
Are they selling their games for a full 60? Are they selling? Well, hey, the Switch is. I would play it a lot more if it did.
Here's the thing. Here's what I find interesting.
You're
never going to hear anybody. You're never going to hear anybody in the hardcore market like raise their hand, be like, I love Stadia. Right? You're just not going to hear that. Because they're all dedicated to what? Like, what do we argue about all the time? 2080 Ti and T-flops and this and that, right? Everyone's all into, like, having the hardware under their TV. We've been arguing that for the past 8 years, if not for the past 28 years. So I get that. But what you have to understand is what Xbox is trying to do as well is trying to reach that casual market. And the casual market loves the idea that come February, Stadia's got a free pro. It's free. It's not $100. It's not $10 a month. You just go on Google, go to Google Stadia, you make an account, and then you buy a game, and you go home and you play it. Yep. Period. And you guys might say that doesn't mean anything to you. Again, it's not for the people listening to this show.
But you're saying they're banking on the people to double dip. The people spend, the people that have
casual gamers are not double dipping. They're buying it on Stadia and walking away.
That's me. I'm buying on Stadia and I'm walking
away. Not even a Madden though.
Why would they not?
There's no Madden on Stadia.
It's coming. Come on.
There's no FIFA on Stadia. I'm just saying. Listen, your first impression is your launch. People are going to look at 30 games they're launching with, and it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. People are boasting XCloud. It's 5 games we played 8 years ago.
Does the controller do what they promised originally at launch, or no? No.
It does. You just have to connect it to the phone.
Exactly. You have to connect it. With that,
you know they're going to change.
Listen, well,
3 months is all going to be there.
XCloud has to do the same thing. So
hey, I understand that, but I expect that to fail completely too. But like I said, look, Microsoft never came back from a poor launch. I just think that they needed to do this big. They needed hype. They needed big exclusive. They needed everything to work. They needed games. They needed to go, hey, if they're so rich, We got Call of Duty, but get it for half off here, $30 instead of 60.
I can see where you're going with that crap, but this is a soft launch.
Hey, soft launch, hard launch don't matter to me.
Not because they want to have a free service come on their website in February. That's when I would expect to see something. Not for the $129.
Yeah.
But you still need games, right?
They got games day one.
I'll tell you, crap, they're gonna play
buying those games.
They're gonna play dirty. They're gonna grab something. They're gonna get.
They're gonna have to play something, man, because they're gonna face that Google Plus, Google Glass, Google Hangouts, all this Google, and that stuff fail. So
for the same fail stuff that Google has failed, Microsoft has failed.
Hey, I agree 100%, and they almost shut it down.
Yeah.
If they couldn't have got it into a service, they would have shut it down. With that being said, 2 hours has passed. Mooch, what do you got going on?
What do we got? Well, I'll tell you what we got going on. We got Death Stranding tomorrow on Twitch.tv. The Mooch 78. Check it out. We are going to go live as soon as I get done downloading that. I'm going right to GameStop. I'm going to pick that right up at GameStop. I got to be honest with you. That's 9 o'clock tomorrow. You can't go wrong. And then we've got Crossfire, 7 p.m. Eastern time. The Mooch 78 on YouTube. Check it out. Go subscribe. Hit the button.
Hit the like button here while you're at it.
Less than 2 calories to click a mouse. Let's do it.
Xbot, what do you got going on, man?
Brother, you know the deal. I'll be over on Mooch's channel on Friday for Crossfire. Of course, Saturday is the next podcast on my channel. If you haven't heard, my channel is Xbot448. Anybody like what I got to say, man? You got to go over to my channel and hit the subscribe button. I'm about to hit 4,000 subscribers. On my 5,000 subscribers, I will be giving away a console of the winner's choosing. And if you want to go ahead and be like, you know what, I want the PS5 when it comes out, or I want Project Scarlett when it comes out, to the winner, it'll be on me, man. So you guys got to go subscribe.
Go do it. Predator, what do you got going on?
Absolutely nothing.
Gotcha. Follow you on my page.
Dude, you're not coming Saturday?
Yeah, I'll be there Saturday.
Oh, okay. All right.
You already plugged that, but so
well, dude, I got your pillow ready, your NyQuil. You're gonna be good. You're gonna go right to bed like as soon as we go live, man.
Yeah, you start talking about fucking those stupid ass games you play, then I probably will fall asleep.
Battletoads.
Well, we appreciate you. Dirt, what are you doing, man? Crackdown 3 sucks. What's going on?
Oh shit, yo, man, come and check out my channel, Dirt Griggity. I do skits, I do Xbox talk, PlayStation talk. Come and check out my
Hide yourself in all the thumbnails.
Yeah, I always put my big ass head on somebody else's body. But yeah, man, just check it out, man. Come check out my channel, bro. I appreciate it.
Looking forward to it. And J-Dubs, man, thank you for joining us. What do you got going on?
Yeah, man, I'm like Mooch, man. I'll be playing the Death Stranding. I got the theme console coming. I got the collector's edition coming. And next week, I'm going to try to hurry up and beat this game and platinum it, so I'll be ready for my Google Stadia the following.
You ain't gonna platinum shit.
And
I got some games to platinum.
I want to thank Sully as well, man, for running this stuff. And with that, we'll get you guys next week. Hit the like button. We'll see you later. Peace out. Later.
Peace.
Peace.